Hello, everyone. Just wanted to give you guys my Sony woes for the last several months. I had a problem with my Sony A7 III. It lasted forever, but this is where it started. I had this session in April, it looks like. If you can look at the date here, I'll zoom in just in case you can't. Yeah, April 26th, 19. Um, I noticed that some images were coming out overexposed, sometimes as high as 2 stops, 2.5 stops, something like that, where if you're not a photographer, that means that you can't really save the image. So here's one I shot at 6:48:09, 6:48:52, several seconds later. And then here's one I shot at 6:48:54, 2 seconds later. And then, oh, this one is actually the same second. So a lot of times I'll shoot in burst mode just so I can get the perfect eyes or smile or whatever. But this is the same second, and I can't recover this. I don't think it's too far overexposed. Um, yeah, so I lost that right there. Um, it wasn't too much of a problem for portrait sessions because I take a lot of images and I have enough to deliver. So having an image like this where it's overexposed like that, it doesn't really matter too much. And then I noticed it again in a different session here. So the time is 9:09:58. This is 9:09:59, 1 second later, and then 9:10 even. So from 1 second to the next, it was good, not good, and then good again. This got a little annoying, so I did send it off at this point in April and sent it off to the Sony Repair Center. They couldn't reproduce the problem, which I guess, I basically said, one shot is overexposed in a few hundred. So I don't know how much they actually tested that out. I think they just shot maybe a few shots and nothing happened. Um, so I got it back and I noticed the problem again. So I sent it back again because it was still under warranty and I did want to get this fixed. I had some weddings coming up and I really can't, have an image like this that may be an important image and then not being able to save the image either. That's a problem. So I sent it off again. I got it back again. Nothing was done. Same reasoning. They couldn't find the issue, so they sent it back. They cleaned it or calibrated it, whatever that means. And then I noticed the problem again. So here's 18 or 8:15:07, 8:15 14, several seconds later, and then it looks like this is the same second. So 8:15:14, 8:15:14, and the difference. So at this point, I did get frustrated. I called up Sony and said, you know, I've sent it in twice. This is going to be the third time. Nothing's been done. At this point, my camera was actually out of warranty. So I've had it a year. I didn't get the extended warranty, and now it's out. But I sent it in for this problem, and nothing was done. So I felt that they should probably take care of the problem under warranty, since I actively tried to get it covered while it was in the warranty period. But nothing was done again, and you know. I had a wedding. I couldn't send it off immediately because I did notice the problem again. But I couldn't send it off immediately because I had weddings to shoot and some sessions to take care of. I needed the camera. I have a backup camera, but I'd rather use my big camera to get stuff done now. So this image, I don't know if you can really tell, there's like this blotchy black haze over the image over here. And I was shooting at a high shutter speed, which I think was 1/4000th of a second. Let me zoom in here so you can see. Yeah, the exposure is at 1/4000th, and I noticed that it happened that way, or the images looked like this at high shutter speeds. And then I found out later that it was high shutter speeds on the mechanical shutter and not the electronic shutter. So here's another example. You can see this haze over here. This looks kind of cool, but this isn't what the sky looked like that day. Um, yeah. And this is when I found out that it was the mechanical shutter and not the electronic shutter. So this is the electronic shutter. It's at 1/8,000th of a second. And this is the mechanical shutter. So you can see barely a spot of image there. The rest is all black. And if I turn up the exposure, yeah, that that's all over the image. So I sent it in again, and this time I was a little bit. Um, I wasn't irate, but definitely let them know that I can't deal with this, and they need to fix it. They need to cover it under warranty. In the end, they did, but I tried to get the camera back to me before a wedding that I had. The wedding that I had was actually this past weekend, but I tried to get it back before then. I made several attempts to try to pay for expedite shipping to get it back. That didn't happen. So this last week's wedding, I actually had a shoot with a rental, which had its problems of its own. Um, so I've been dealing with this since April here, and I finally got something done in September. And this whole time, April through September, I was really, really hating my decision to go with Sony. I could, you know, I can make a lot of it work, but when I have a problem like this that I need to get fixed and sending it back to the manufacturer for repair, so many times that was really a problem. I'm really sour with Sony and my camera now, and I just want to jump ship. But I'm going to stick with it because it is a nice camera, and hopefully I don't have any more issues. Um, but yeah, this was my tale. All right, have a good Friday the 13th, guys.